I want to pose a question to you. Is Starbucks good, actually? Um,
Okay, so
you want to
first
kick us
episode
off?
of
Yeah.
Fable, right? Okay, so I'm Andy.
I'm a line.
Guys, we're the owners of Fable Coffee and Pastry, and now we're also starting the Fable YouTube channel, right?
Podcast, YouTube,
Yeah,
fun
whatever.
mixture. We'll see what it kind of evolves into.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what we're doing today. So today we'll be actually explaining you guys what Fable is, and then pretty much just talking about some topics that we have in mind, and if you guys want to put something in the comments for us for the future, guys, feel free, and then we look into
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah, I think the way we're kind of thinking about it is to do a little bit of like current events, what's happening now in the coffee world with Fable, with us, I guess.
Yep.
And then also just picking a topic when we do these episodes to kind of just build a larger discussion and kind of like pick both our heads of how we think about coffee and how we think about our cafe.
For sure. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. And just talking a little bit about what Fable is. That was the collaboration about two companies, right?
Yep.
So I'm coming from the baking world with like Alma Sweets, and a line coming with the coffee world
Yeah.
with Half a Moon Cafe, and for I don't know, fate, destiny. We end up
Yeah.
meeting, and
Coincidence? I don't know. All these things, all the above.
yeah, and a year later, we're in the final processes of starting construction of the coffee shop.
Yeah, it hasn't really only been a year, like a year and
Yeah,
a half. Yeah, this kind of came together. We've been doing our individual businesses. I think you were
couple
2
years.
years. I
Yeah,
was like a year and a half or a little bit more. And then once we actually decided, like, hey, let's start working together. We were just doing pop ups in Orlando together.
yeah,
We kind of decided, like, well, we both want to open up a coffee shop bakery concept and grow a company. And we're kind of like, yeah,
yeah. Then that happened. If we think about it, and some people might think we're crazy, but we only know each other for maybe 2.5 years now,
yep.
and it just thing went in the right direction. Same goals, same ideas,
Yeah.
and
Very like similar. I think we have different mindsets, but we have enough of a similar
yeah.
common mindset of how we approach things.
But that's what I think is good.
Yeah.
If we all have the same image, it,
Yeah.
you cannot get feedback or creative criticism from the other person if you don't have sometimes different views.
You can't make music from a single wind chime.
Yeah. What I think is like what needs to be the same is the goal.
Yeah. Like the end goal of how where we want to end up,
Yeah.
right?
So I think that's what we had. We want Fable to be a well-known name in the city for coffee, baked goods, and also bringing together people. And the way we decided to bring people together was one of your favorite stuff,
Yeah.
tabletop gaming.
A lot. I think time and time again, you'll see a lot of inspiration of the things we do come from sci-fi and fantasy, but very for the coffee shop, very specifically going to be tabletop and board games. Stuff like D&D, Catan, Risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very old school when it comes to tabletop games. I know the old stuff, Monopoly and Risk, and the lines more knowing like
All the new
everything
modern
everything else you can
games.
imagine.
Yeah.
So I was 100% on board on that. I love the idea, and I love the idea that it would be well, for you guys know, it would be really close to the college, actually University of Orlando, and the good thing is like new kids are coming in every semester,
Every
right?
semester. Yeah.
So they don't know anybody yet. They're getting to know friends, and we're going to be the perfect place for them to,
Yeah.
get to know people. And especially if they're into tabletop gaming, D&D, and this kind of stuff, we're going to have events. So, keep on the lookout for that. Eventually, we're going to be announcing all of those as more for development of the coffee as well. But I think that's it. That's Fable coming along. I don't know what's like. Are you excited about the most about Fable?
But Fable, I mean, I think just waking up every day and seeing something that we both build like have a life of its own. Like eventually we're gonna work the shop initially,
Hmm.
but we are gonna have employees, get to train them, like be able to pay people wages, like really help get some of these kids like through college and kind of build a community of people around the coffee shop, because I think that's what draws us both to coffee shop. It's such a communal effort, and then now we
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know. I'm excited to us to be like part of the community that is Orlando, and not even only that, like be a meeting place. A place where people will, like, they talk about it, they see us grow, and they expect things of us, but they also see it as a place where they can just come to and get like a great coffee or great cake and just spend time there. So I think that's what I'm excited about. Is just seeing it become part of the community.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's really cool. That's why I can wait to see, people going into Fable as the point of meetup, knowing that there's a place for them to, create a community and also have amazing coffee and baked
Yeah.
goods. So that'll be the place. So yeah, that's great. So is anything else you'd like to share about Fable?
That's a good question. I think week by week we'll probably be sharing our progress and the things we're dealing with. I think
Hmm.
very right now we're very into the world of permitting with Orange County,
Yeah.
which I find very interesting. Reading the code is like reading an insane technical manual that contradicts itself, but also makes sense sometimes. Um, but that is kind of like deeper technically. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the point where we start to get towards actually breaking ground, doing the construction. We'll heavily talk about the progress that's being made then.
Yeah, I can't wait for that part. Again, come to permitting, I'm completely clueless how the things work. I was the kind of person again do things and ask later how it needs to be
Yeah.
done. So, well, I'm leaving most of that for you and our
Yeah.
team. We have a great team
We
of
do have a
architects
great team.
and they're doing great. So actually, shout out to Shane and Carmina for what they're doing. Shane and his team, Bishop as well. So they're doing a great team, a great job getting everything and communicating with us. So hopefully the permitting phase is done. No time,
Oh,
maybe sometime.
1 week, fingers crossed. This
Yeah,
time, 1 week now.
then we can actually start constructions and I don't know about you. I estimate in my mind maybe a month and a half too of constructions if we
Yeah.
have everything
I
aligned.
was gonna ask you, when do you think we're actually gonna open?
My
I get
goal,
that question a lot now.
yeah. Well, in a perfect world would be mid January,
Hmm.
but being realistic, knowing that sometimes contractors might have other jobs and things not aligned at the same time, maybe mid February, end of February, if permits.
If permits, everything works. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was looking at one of my notes from a little while back, and I had us opening end of November,
yeah, I remember.
which
Yeah, it's never happened.
it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy to think about how I mean, we're not that far. We're hopefully just like I agree. I think realistically, it's gonna be mid to end January.
Hmm.
But it's kind of, I think we both come into this with a bit of optimism of how, like, yeah, this will just work. Like, we're building something
Yeah.
great. We're doing everything right. Like, we have the architect, the interior designer. We're
Hmm.
getting all our ducks in a row. And so, but there's kind of just friction pops up in like weird, unexpected places.
No, yeah, for sure. But again, the optimism is still there. It might shift a couple months,
Yeah.
but it's still there. We're gonna open, and I think it'll be a really cool place for everybody to go there and enjoy, everything that we're doing. And I just think that's that'll be a great place. Yeah, I just again the permitting side is something that I don't know anything about, but it's gonna be good. Okay, so what else we got today?
So, I guess that kind of counts as our talking about like current events of what's happening, really just introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
But I guess I wanted to, I don't think we've really talked about this before. And I kind of wanted to find kind of a topic that we both have a lot of experience with.
Okay.
And that's, I want to pose a question to you. Is Starbucks good, actually? And I think comparing our coffee shop to Starbucks is a bit of a bad premise. Like, we're not, like, we don't have the same goals. A lot of specialty coffee shops don't even have the same goals. But a lot of consumers, like, when they come into a coffee shop, everyone has this chain as a point of reference.
Yeah.
No matter what. That's why I think it's valuable to ask the question: Is Starbucks actually good? What can we take away from it? I don't know. So let me ask you: like, what do you think they do well that we can maybe learn from? I see you sweating already.
Not really. What they do well, they're consistent.
Yeah.
They everywhere you go, you're gonna have the same cup of coffee. You like it or not, maybe if it's in your taste buds to like Starbucks or not, you're gonna be consistent. Also, it's one thing that we're gonna work a lot to get the consistency that we were looking for. So it that's one thing I can tell that they're good in their own regard for what you're looking for people looking for that. Hey, I want to get a coffee and get out of here and to do my job, to do whatever. You might even go there and chill, but I think most of Starbucks got so busy nowadays. It's not a really place
To chill.
to
Yeah.
chill anymore.
It has
Um,
become less that. I know, like, when I was in university, it was definitely like you knew that any Starbucks you went to, you can just put your laptop there and work. And now
Yeah.
I feel like that's become less so because they're just now really quick turnaround service, and that's what they really focus on.
Yeah, and it all depends. I'm not gonna say there's no Starbucks out there that you can find, and it's gonna be a good place to hang out and take your time. But at least here in Orlando, most of the Starbucks I'm going now, it's being just crowded. It's just too many people, so you cannot really do anything else but just get your coffee and go. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know, just get busy. When a place gets a drive-through, then they're looking.
The mentality shifts a little bit on
Yeah,
like,
that's in and out. That's all they're looking for. So what I can say again, they have an amazing consistency. You're probably gonna have the same drink every Starbucks you go in the country. So that's what they have. And
the turnaround time for getting a coffee from ordering it to out the door typically is lightning fast. I mean, we've done a lot of these kinds of events, and especially when we have like a large backlog of orders, it could take us anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes to get like any particular, as long as they're ordering one drink right out the door. But that's also because we have some of our recipes are more involved.
intricate. Also, we're in a mobile setting. We
Yeah.
don't we don't have our big machines or everything that we needed to make it a thing as fast as possible. So yeah, being in an outdoor setting, in a mobile setting, it slows it down a little bit. So I'm pretty sure as soon as we more at a fixed place that we can actually
We'll like lock down our operations.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be faster. But so what's the investments that Starbucks has? They have thousands of dollars on those espresso machines that that do everything.
The
for them.
manufacturers for those machines are contracted to only make those machines for Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's how much they care about having that
What scares me as a company, they only have one client. If Starbucks stop buying from them, they'll just go away. I don't know. But anyway, they have a machine that does everything for them. So it's they're dialed down to the T to make everything.
Although I have heard from friends who have worked at Starbucks that sometimes you have to calibrate those machines. I think coming from like specialty craft coffee world, looking at a super auto machine, like a super auto means it just does everything for you, right?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine having to like calibrate and deal and like finesse.
But who does that? Is it the employees or there's a guy responsible to go around the city?
They do have techs that do it, but the day-to-day operations is of just like calibration and regular maintenance is done by the employees. Presumably they have to train them, right?
Probably. What is calibration, right? Because there's calibration and calibration.
What does that even mean?
It means I'm with a dial and just like, okay, a little more, a little less.
I don't see when I talked to my friend, it wasn't calibrating the machine wasn't about getting a particular flavor out of the coffee. They never tried the coffee. Like the machine itself knew when like the shot was calibrated. So I think they just have a preset recipe, like this much water, this much coffee, and they just try to hit that.
So it's for volume then of things that you need.
Yeah. It's just like they're measuring like the volume of water coming out, like how long the machine takes to cycle itself.
So that's how I can imagine is they having like a scale, a cup of water, and have a dial to make sure that every morning it's getting the weight that needs to come out of the day. Because maybe the machine throughout the day just might lose the calibration, and you just need to dial back. Yeah. I don't. That's what I can imagine. I never been behind the counters of a Starbucks.
I think it would be a fascinating experience to kind of just spend one day behind there and see like how their operations works out.
And there's one thing that I still don't know. Are they a franchise or they're all single-handedly owned by the corporation? I never could find that information about Starbucks.
That is a good question. I
I don't
wonder.
think they're a franchise. Franchise would be easier. We can talk to the owner, but the
Right.
corporation then gets you a little more complicated
Yeah. It's hard to break
to
in.
get done. But that'll be a nice experience for sure. Just going behind the counters and learn their operations. But it again change a little bit what our perspective are. Like we want to give you the customer service. We want to take our time to learn what you want and how make sure the coffee that you have and is the perfect coffee for you compared to Starbucks that I don't know, just like that's your coffee. That's your
Yeah. That's kind of.
venti, mate, latte.
And I want to mention this is a judgment-free zone. I love my Dunkin' Donuts. I love my Starbucks. I do kind of see it as a different beverage than the kinds we make with specialty coffee, because it's like maybe it's the comparisons to like a good whiskey, right? You might put a mixer in, or put a bunch of toppings. That'll be like your Starbucks. But sometimes you just want to enjoy the singular ingredient, the coffee itself, and see how expressful that by itself can be. That's kind
Yeah.
of what we start to focus on when we think about product quality.
Yeah, and different kind of roast too, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, but Starbucks only does like dark roast, right?
Oh man, in the roasting world, they're called it's a Vienna roast, and it is quite dark. It's on the roasting scale. It's very far out to darkness, right?
Okay, yeah. For me, I like a little more medium myself.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of
More
both
balance,
worlds.
yeah.
A balanced
I
way.
mean, I'm on a lot of on Facebook. There's these coffee business owner groups,
Uh-huh.
and they love putting Starbucks on blast. It is the funniest thing to me, but they'll call it like Charbucks. Charbucks is my favorite. Like,
It just burnt
Turn-
the
yeah.
beans to the end.
they are very salty. I mean, I think for me, it's kind of like a rising tide, raises all ships. Starbucks is educating people about coffee and getting them into coffee, which helps
Yeah.
in turn other coffee shops, right?
Because think about it, how many people do you know that goes to Starbucks to have like a black coffee?
Yeah, just by itself.
The-
Not very many. They
There
definitely
is,
exist.
there
Yeah,
is, but usually though, I want my latte. I want my
Yeah.
5 pumps of vanilla, something.
dude.
Kinda,
Sometimes that's what you need, man.
So yeah, that would mask the taste of that coffee.
But that's
for
why it's a
sure.
different beverage, right? It's like a more mixed,
Yeah,
sweeter beverage. Like, and that's totally cool. I think they. The thing I struggle a lot with Starbucks, especially when people have that as their reference point, is that they'll know what they want, right? Like, I want a vanilla latte. I've had that before. I really enjoyed that. But then we try to give them our version of a vanilla latte, and it's kind of different, right? And then
yes, for sure. It doesn't have the I don't say the
oomph.
punch. It's just that I think you can separate more the flavors.
but they're just very fundamentally, we just approach that same
Yeah.
like quote unquote recipe, and I think it's just like educating on like, okay, well, we're using this origin for this reason, right? Like maybe we have a Colombian for this day, and we think it's gonna be really great on your vanilla latte, but you might see in our coffee shop we have like an Ethiopian, and these we do that for pour overs. That's like a level of nuance and education that you never really get exposed to in the Starbucks world. But when
Yeah.
you're thinking about like what you want out of a cup of coffee, it really drastically changes the experience.
That's
And
for
so-
sure. Yeah, and that's what I think that we're gonna be able to cater there a little bit more to our
Yeah.
customers. We might not be a coffee store with hundreds of styles of coffee for you to pick, but we're gonna cater like each drink. I believe we're gonna make. It's gonna have a different type of roast for what we're trying to achieve.
Yes. And so I think like the few that we have will be very like carefully selected. And I think one of the fun things, we're not gonna have the same coffee all year round, right?
yeah.
Like it's gonna be, coffee is a plant. It's going to be seasonal, and that's kind of like the beauty of it. You could come to a store and you'll still have some of your, I'll call them like blends. The
Yeah.
the actual coffee might be different, but the way we blend them, we'll try to target the same kind of flavor profile.
Yeah.
But you'll have those, and then you'll also have like, oh, this new exciting, or maybe we'll have a rare coffee on tap that day, right?
Yeah, for sure, and we can do that. And if you're really into Starbucks, we can make one that would taste pretty much the same.
I mean, our signature lattes they're not as like sugar forward as Starbucks, but they are kind of like big milk drinks with a lot of like our specialty syrups in them, right? So
Yeah.
it's not too dissimilar from
Again, we're gonna do whatever the customer would feel like was the
Yeah.
best coffee for them. So if they want to keep pumping sugar and vanilla, we'll be more than welcome to do that for them. But we always gonna give our recommendation for the drink we curated for them. Like this will be
Yeah.
our best version that we believe it is. But hey, you like sweet? We're not gonna judge you. Let's put more sweets for
Dude,
you.
I'm right there with you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, the blueberry dust that we make, like, that is white chocolate heaven.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I couldn't drink it every day, but when I have it, it's just,
I
the
love
sweetness
that.
is so well balanced with
Yeah.
our blueberry. And, like, it just works, right? And sometimes you need a recipe that just, like, hits that particular itch that you have, you know?
Yeah. And some days I just want a black coffee, you
Yeah.
know. But I also don't want my black coffee, in my opinion, my taste, to be burnt. I want to taste the coffee. So
Yeah.
usually I go more to a medium to a light roast when I go to that one. But yeah, again, coming to the question, I think they're good, but they decided what they're targeting and what they think a good coffee will be for their clients. And it's been working for them for
Also, it's so, I think, like, the way they do the apps and everything, it's so customizable. You can literally change any aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
And once people find, like, their particular string of modifiers they want, like, all the employees are super well trained to accommodate that, right? Like, I guess it turns it less from a conversation to a barista to, like, here's all the modifiers. You
Yeah.
know exactly how to make it. I know exactly. Like, there's no question of, oh, if I say I want to add simple syrup or I want to add vanilla syrup to my coffee. They know exactly if I get 1, 2, or 4 pumps, they know exactly how much sweetness. But I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of other coffee shops where it's kind of nebulous exactly how much more sweet that's going to make their particular beverage. And so I think they do a good part on that communication on how to modify your coffee as well, right?
No, for sure. In that, like, they do things specifically for you because that's the way you like to drink
Yeah.
it, right?
You find your order. That's
Yeah.
the beauty. Like, you find your
They
order
have
and
a
you stick
problem,
with it.
though.
Yeah.
They can never spell the names right.
Are we gonna do that? I haven't actually thought about that part of the process
we might. You
because
never know.
inevitably I think that's just when you get enough coffee beverages orders in, like, you're gonna misspell someone's name.
Yeah, for sure. But Starbucks always.
Always inevitable.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think they have a page on Facebook just about that.
Just about
yeah. Just we should look into that. Yeah, for
Do
sure.
you get your name misspelled ever,
Uh,
Andy?
Andy? No, it's kind
Can you guess how?
No, I did.
Oh, what was it?
Andy with an I in the beginning or an E in the beginning. That happened before. Like Indy,
Andy?
they thought I said Indy, like Indiana or something like that. So they did
Oh.
Indy, and it happened.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, it did. It happened.
My name's Align, so I've seen every possible permutation of my name.
We should get your nickname.
Oh man, I remember once when I was in, like, middle school, someone tried to call me Big Al because even in
Yeah.
middle school I was a big, tall person. Big Al, I'm like, no, I'm shutting that one straight down. I usually tell them Alan instead, since it's just one
Alan.
letter away
Yeah.
from my actual name. But it's
We're
kind
gonna
of
find. Yeah, by the 4th or 5th episode,
I'll get a
find
nickname.
Yeah,
People be
Yeah.
blasting in the comments, just coming up with.
yeah. and then
Hey,
we
if you
choose
want
one.
to,
Yeah.
you want to try spelling my name, give it a shot in the comments.
I'm not gonna do it.
And he's like, my hands are off
Yeah,
from this
off
one.
limit. Okay. So yeah. So what else do you think Starbucks? Do you think there's any need to change anything? Do you think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing for what they want to
Man,
be?
I think one thing that they probably shepherded in the industry was seasonal drinks. I don't think, like, before that we really saw, like, seasonality in. I mean, think of any other thing that's not coffee, like teas, alcohols, like seasonal. You might have, like, in really upscale places, like the concept of seasonality. But in a fast food place, I mean, sorry, I do consider Starbucks like a fast service operation because it is, right?
Yeah.
But they have this, like, really fun concept of seasonality. Of course, it's like a kind of a marketing thing to get people to come back in and create, like, the sense of scarcity of a recipe, like a pumpkin spice latte. Oh,
Yeah.
that'll definitely get you back in the fall season. And I think that is something that almost every single coffee shop has imitated. And maybe Starbucks also imitated it from somewhere else, but they've definitely like made that kind of an expectation almost on coffee shops.
Yeah, some people wait the whole year for the
pumpkin spice latte, right?
And that comes the question: do you think it's overrated?
Oh, do I think it's overrated?
Yeah.
I am so basic. I love pumpkin spice. Hey, maybe everyone else in the specialty world will put me on blast. That's okay. Hey, I can do my V60 pour overs all day long and drink a pumpkin spice latte. Like, that's super valid.
I don't
Do
know
you
what to
think it's
say.
overrated?
I do think it's overrated, and I'm gonna say something that's really dumb.
Yeah.
But there's no pumpkin in it.
Yeah.
So what's the deal
What's the
about
point?
it? What
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's just-
It's pumpkin spice, but
you
yeah.
calling- what is pumpkin spice?
It's the spice you put on pumpkins.
I want you to name
Name one
spices.
spice.
Yeah.
Cinnamon,
Okay.
nutmeg,
Okay. I think it's cloves.
allspice, maybe. Oh, cloves, probably. I
Yeah.
guess those are the two fundamental ones, and everything you add there is kind of like whatever your special take on
So-
pumpkin spices.
Just buy all spices at any supermarket and carry it
Just-
to you, and you just if that's
Yeah.
you like so much. But you call it pumpkin, just call fall, whatever.
Fall spice latte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just not a pumpkin person in general. I don't like the pumpkin as a.
I
fruit.
have had like a pumpkin pureed latte, and I
There's
mean,
no taste. Pumpkin has no taste.
yeah, it really doesn't. I think like it's more about like the texture that having the puree adds to the drink. Like it just makes it a heavier, almost like an eggnog, right? Like a spice eggnog with coffee.
It makes it just thicker. per
Yeah,
se.
exactly.
Okay.
And so I mean that was if you like pumpkin pie, like a pumpkin puree
I don't
latte.
like pumpkin.
Ooh, I'm so excited for us
Nothing
to.
of pumpkin coming.
'Cause-
But I'm excited for Christmas with the mint and peppermint barks coming in.
Yep.
And actually, I was walking somewhere today and I already saw pictures of coffees with the peppermint bark coming. top
It's
of it.
coming.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey is
I
thawing.
was at Wawa.
Really
Wawa
bringing
gas
in the
stations,
season.
For whatever's watching, they don't have a Wawa at their state. Here in Florida, we have a lot of Wawas, especially
Mm-hmm.
in Orlando. And I'm a person to say that, and sorry, I changed the subject a little bit.
No.
I'm in between. Sometimes I debate what's better, Wawa or Starbucks as a coffee. Because I think Wawa went straight to mimicking Starbucks in every single regard.
Really, I see Wawa as closer to Dunkin' than to Starbucks, but maybe I'm wrong. I haven't had that much Wawa coffee.
Well, you don't have the same type of customer service and
Yeah,
and setting. You go inside a gas station, right?
Right. They
But
don't have baristas.
They do actually.
Do they really? Like
do.
people
Well,
they
they
train
train-
specifically?
They train a couple employees to do the coffees,
Oh.
even though the employee might be rotating,
Doing
other
something
stuff.
else? Okay, yeah.
But they have the area for coffee, and then you can have your already done coffee that you just fill up your cup and go.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go into the app or on their machines and request to do an entire coffee that you want, and a person will come, go to the back of the counter and create it. And the way they give you the cup in those specialty drinks, especially the iced ones,
Mm-hmm.
it I would say it's in between Starbucks and Dunkin'. They're right.
They're getting that particular part of the niche.
Yes.
I feel like next one of the future episodes we should do a little Wawa Dunkin' tasting or
We should be
something.
a comparison. Well,
Yeah.
it has to be iced, so because we don't know how long we're going to take to get here, but we can buy all three of them
Yeah, just try them side by side and like
side by side. And
blind do it blind, right?
We're
Yeah.
blind, and we can also get
One of ours.
One of ours. We should invite a person that doesn't drink coffee at all.
Yeah.
Blind them and see what would be the best.
Mm-hmm.
That could backfire on us, but
Like truly
Um,
could. Well,
that's good. It makes us that hey, we can improve this.
Yes,
for when we
exactly.
so
Yeah.
There's a chance for improvement. So I'm 100% down to do that. Any more add-ons you want to put in the Starbucks subject?
I mean, so we talked about one of the things that I think about for our business is the seasonal beverages and how I think what our mentality and approach is going to be.
Yeah.
Do you want to do seasonals for the roll cakes as well? Do you see that coming hand in hand with the seasonals for our
Yeah.
coffee beverages?
100%.
Yeah.
It'll be like I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite season of the year. Can you imagine? Like we're gonna have peppermint bark roll cakes.
Ooh.
They're my wife's favorite. The thing is just amazing, and they look so cool. So it was just you pairing that cake with the specific coffee that we created also for the
Yeah.
time of the year. It just goes, it just go hand in hand.
Because you probably wouldn't want to do peppermint bark roll cake and a peppermint mocha together. I think that sounds like too much of a good thing to me.
Well, some people are they're crazy for
They're
peppermint.
just crazy,
They
yeah.
they'll love that. But then you can combine like, oh, I want a peppermint bark coffee, and then I'm gonna have my regular chocolate cake. Or I want to have my peppermint bark cake, and then I'm gonna have my regular latte or cappuccino. I think cappuccinos will go amazing.
Yeah,
With,
absolutely.
with the Christmas season cake.
One thing I
so-
gotta make for you eventually is one thing I love doing, especially if I'm making pancakes or just doing like a big, that kind of style of breakfast,
Uh-huh.
is to do a really nice pour over coffee with like a darker roast, like maybe a nice Colombian like or Brazilian coffee, just something with a little bit more body.
Uh-huh.
And then you just do that black. You made the same whipping cream that you're gonna add to your pancakes. You just dot that on top of your pour over coffee, and it's just like for me it's the perfect mixture of like this black coffee that you get through some of the sips, but with kind of just like a little mouthful of that sweet vanilla cream. It's just such a great breakfast pancake companion. I feel like that's
You said pancake. You want me? You want me at that? So I'll take it for sure. We're gonna have so many recipes that we already developing, right?
Yep.
I'm still want to try the orange one, man. The orange juice coffee.
So, for context, I think one thing I appreciate about Andy is that he comes forth with some of the most, for me, unhinged coffee ideas, like orange. I believe that recipe was seltzer, orange juice, coffee, ice,
there was honey in it.
and honey as the sweetener.
Yeah.
And I think just the idea of coffee and seltzer and coffee and orange juice sound absolutely unhinged to me. But I would love to. I mean, overall, it does sound like a very refreshing beverage.
It does, and for everybody that tried at home, they said that thing was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
We want to give our take on it and make it Fable special.
Yeah.
We're gonna make what they're making just to get the base, but I think we always gonna tweak to make like Fable coffee. So that's one I think will be a perfect seasonal one for summer. You coming in, a coffee with orange juice. I don't know. It sounds great to me.
That's the mix of having like we have all the familiar favorites, right? We have
Yeah.
your cafe con leche, we have your vanilla latte, but hey, like we're gonna have rare coffee origins. We're gonna have orange juice
Yeah.
coffee, right?
Orange juice. Yeah.
But
Come here, get your J. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna have something called the potions, right? People don't know yet, and
the potions are.
the potions gonna be different. They're really good too. Eventually, we're gonna be showing all you guys all the potions and drinks. We're gonna have
The full
pictures
menu
of that.
tasting, yeah.
It's gonna go in our Instagram in the description. Just check the Instagram, and we're gonna have all that, so people will be able to follow up and see our menu. But it's gonna be, I don't know. I just can't wait to start all these new flavors and different stuff that we can do. It's gonna be great.
I can see it now on Google Maps, like a 1-star review. Tried orange juice coffee. I would respond and be like, I'm really glad you tried it. Someone had to.
Yeah. I can't say it's good because I haven't tried yet, but I'm really biased because I love orange juice.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good. And if you put orange juice with honey, okay, those two things are good. The seltzer is only gonna make bubbly, in my opinion, and that's also good because I love sodas. Then you're just adding the coffee, and that is the wild card for me.
The wild card. Yeah.
What
yeah,
the coffee is gonna make. The coffee could make it taste amazing, as it could make just taste like there's coffee in my orange juice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just can't wait to try that
Yeah.
that drink.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be great. So
Yeah.
Well, we went a tangent from Starbucks, but
No,
let's
but
go.
I think the idea. I think this is a good larger discussion of like what our vision for Fable coffee, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what I wanted us to get to by talking about Starbucks as a referential point.
Yeah.
Just like they do some really, I mean, they're a really successful business, but we know the ways that we want to be different from
Yes.
them, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we we want to follow what they do good, but also create our own path in the terms of like, hey, we want you here. We want you to come as a community and stay with us for as long as you think it's gonna be a good time for you. As long as you want to meet new people. As Starbucks, they just want you to come in, get the coffee,
Yeah.
and go. So
I mean, if they could do that with zero front of house seating, they probably
probably
would,
would do.
right? But that's
Yeah.
part of the value add of a place like that is that you could sit down and
what it
work a while.
comes that we having new people come in town with just the drive-through for coffee. So there's people thinking, okay, I can mimic Starbucks to 100%,
Yeah.
and then I can cut off the front
All
of the
the
house.
overhead, yeah.
And they're doing it. They already have
Yeah.
like 2 locations in town.
Are you talking about scooters?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Scooters is here. The Big O's, Big J's, forgot the name. They're
Mm-hmm.
in downtown Orlando. I think they're going to the same idea. Like, you grab and go. Just
Yeah.
that's what you're gonna do. So they all have good products. They're just different take on how they want to provide to the
Yeah, we're just
customer.
kind of accommodating different customer needs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want you to come to a place that you think is going to be great to be at and stay at for a long time, as they want you just to come grab the coffee
Yep.
and go. So that's pretty much the different take. And what I like is like we'll be able to create this community that will be able to actually try our new stuff and then get the feedback so we can keep improve on. So that's a good
I mean,
thing.
we're like not gonna be a large corporate machine. Like you'll see us like the owners in the shop, and
Yeah.
I mean, I love getting feedback, even if you think something's awful. Like I want to know what about it was, so I can just work on it, right? And kind of aggregate that to just like we're here to serve the community in a
Yep.
way too, right? And we're also here to create a business. But for me, my mindset is that part of creating a successful business is having a successful community. So
Yeah, no, for sure. And I can't wait for us to do the events. I think
oh
those,
yeah,
those are
I'm
the
excited
best.
for the
Yeah.
events.
Because it's gonna be great. Having all these people coming in to hang out with us and do fun stuff. We're gonna do, I don't know, so many ideas. Of course, the main thing
Board
gonna
games.
be board games.
Yeah,
But I don't know. There's
Family
so much more we
night.
can do. Yeah.
yeah,
I want to bring so badly this family night. I want people to bring their kids
yeah.
and then play board games there, and not worrying about food or not worry about drinks because we'll be there to take care of them for
Yeah.
that, but just them to be able to hang out with their family and just like have fun playing
Yeah.
a game. So I can't wait to get that
Yeah.
that happening.
Man, I that's kind of my dream for our growth story is to
Mm-hmm.
like be part of someone's childhood like that, and then us kind of expand, and then us becoming like a favorite of theirs, right?
Yeah.
That's I think for me that's the ultimate success. But
Yeah, that would be great. I can't wait. And we'll be so close to the university. I can't wait. So many people that can say, "Hey, during school, I work at Fable, and it was a great place to be."
Yeah.
They helped me out through the entire thing, and then I just want to be part of people's lives, and then that'll be great. Can't wait.
how do you feel about doing like an open mic night at the coffee shop? Have someone
I have to think more about that. I gotta think more about that. Yeah, but nothing's out of the table right now.
Yeah.
We just get. Again, we still going on construction. We gotta see space. We gotta see permits. But everything that, in my point of view, that can bring people together also as a family, as friends, for a good time. It's something that, in my opinion, I'm always gonna say yes to.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna try to achieve with Fable for sure.
Yep. That's the value that we add. That's like part of our, value proposition as a company.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Well, I think we've been, for the first episode we did quite a while. We
Yeah.
talked about what Fable will be, our biggest, what do we say,
Aspirations
aspiration, or I would say, and we talk about Starbucks. What is our? I don't want to say they're a competitor because they're not in the same lane that we are, even though
Yeah.
they're offering the same
Uh-huh.
product. But yeah, we talk about the main guy out there on the in
Yeah.
the market, and our views on it. Like,
And I think that's like the kind of fun thing about Starbucks and what makes them fun to talk about is that everyone kind of has an opinion about
yeah,
them one way or another. And I think that's, I don't know. That means that people ultimately care, right?
yeah. I would say there's no place of coffee I don't like. I but just don't enjoy their product itself. Like, I got to know the owners. I know places that I'll go there, and I think the place is okay, but it's just like, sorry, your coffee is not my
To
type
my, how
type
I
of
like
coffee.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you went to a place that you said, I don't want to be here at all. This coffee just completely.
I can name one place.
Uh huh.
I you know what? I will be brave and name that place. Joffrey's Coffee. Disney, come at me. What is going on? It's not hard to do base level coffee, but
Yeah.
all right, we just lost everyone in the Disney fandom.
Yeah. Well, again, like, coffees are different. People are gonna like coffee in different ways, but I've never been to a place that I didn't feel, at least for coffee, that I feel not welcome in.
Yeah, that's the other aspect,
Yeah,
right?
like, oh, I didn't like your coffee, but the place, I have
Yeah,
nothing,
good vibes.
good vibes. But I've been in food places that, like, sorry,
Feel like
I felt
yeah.
that the service was not there. I think with coffee, I think I just something about the
People
business.
just love it. Like it makes you happy, right?
Yeah, so I'm happy. Can't wait to get Fable going, and then we we get it
Joffrey,
there.
call me. We can fix it. We can do better together.
Sure. Of course. Well, I think that's a wrap for the night. If you guys please leave comments, let us know what you guys like to us talk about.
Yeah.
Fable, we're gonna be posting on the Instagram. We're gonna be posting everything. Leave a like if you guys liked what we talked about, and subscribe. We can keep coming with more videos, ideas, and we'll be talking hopefully every week to you guys, and bringing our takes on different subjects, and hopefully we also gonna have some people that we're gonna invite,
Guests, yes.
some guests, so we'll talk
Have some
about.
on the docket planned out.
Yeah, for sure. So that'll be it from me. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. With
Okay.
and that's I want to pose a question to you. Is Starbucks good actually? And